Strategic studies, assumptions and approaches. Strategic studies was a phrase that developed after World War II, signifying the general study of military power in international politics. Strategic studies became an umbrella term for the study of defense and security issues. Clausewitz defined strategy as the employment of battle as the means towards attainment of an end. However, today, purely military definitions of strategy have virtually disappeared because strategy today is an employment of value system, thought process and ideas which straddle the spectrum of war and peace, politics and economics, culture and psychology. Yes, it still remains a means towards an end of peace and mutually beneficial existence. The entire industry of strategic thinking and studies is today geared towards maintaining peace. A Herculean task given the complexities of human society today. It is not only complex in different silos, but the complexity also runs within the silos itself. The military or defense system still remains the core. Nonetheless, the works of strategists today is to how to, when to and how much to, apply or more importantly not military coercive activities. Liddell Hart rightly says that strategy is the art of distributing and applying military means to fulfill the ends of a policy. Though it is more of thought focus than a discipline in itself, strategic studies can loosely be said to have the following assumptions. 1. Realism. R. Niebuhr, a founding father of the realist school of strategic studies, speaks of man's stubborn pride, egotism, will to power and brute inheritance as an impetus to the man always being on the verge of war. The realists believe that men are inherently destructive, selfish, competitive and aggressive, and hence giving rise to an international system which is full of uncertainty and disorder. 2. Moral neutrality. A strategic analyst like a physician cannot afford to have an emotional bondage to the subject, and hence is accused of being morally either neutral or actually abetting war. Just because he studies an analysis and details the means and ways of wars, does not really say that he glorifies it. Au contraire, almost all strategists recommends ways of maintaining peace. 3. Peace and security. Within this framework, in order to maintain peace and national and international security, we see various concepts, viz. A. Deterrence is a theory that peace and security can be promoted by threatening potential enemies with unacceptable retaliatory damage. B. Disarmament says that peace and security can be achieved by reducing or abolishing WMDs. C. Arms control prefers to manage the existing weaponry skillfully. D. Limited war is a theory that peace and security can be ensured by using limited amount of military activities during any conflict. E. Crisis management is about developing techniques for handling national and international crises. 4. The Cold War. The years of Cold War were quite instrumental in decisive shaping of ideas of the scholars and strategists today. The international politics divided into blocks went from being straightforward to complex equations during these times. Very slowly, the world is getting over the hangover of the Cold War. However, we are still long way to go before the shadow can be shaken of and we get into different set of equations for our strategic theories. 5. Rationality, self-explanatory, it still remains means in achieving goals. Though it sounds and feels parsimonious, rationality still remains one of the elusive methods/means in achieving any strategic goal. As Hedley Bull commented, the decisions of governments on matters of peace and war do not always reflect careful weighing of long-range considerations, or a mastery of course of events. Governments appear to stumble upon, groping and half-blind, too preoccupied with surviving from day to day even to perceive where they are heading, let alone steer away from it. This is largely true. Strategic studies is an art which heavily depends on science, social science and humanities as a discipline. From